Lightweight amateur action. James McHughes fighting out of FAI in the red sandy gloves. Josh Allen in the camel grey and black shorts, straight in on a takedown. Right now finds himself in the open guard of McHughes. McHughes trying to get in on an arm, maybe trying to hit a bump sweep or trying to work for a Kimura. You can see he's trying to get the point of that elbow down and get back to his feet. Right now, Josh Allen doing a good job of controlling.
Yeah, he has a deep underhook. He's really right around the far hip, now around the leg.
He's just going to pop
in danger.
Just going to pop those hips out. Oh, that guillotine looks tight. He may have spiked himself deeper into the guillotine here. McHughes putting everything he can into it, Paul.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's fighting the hands, and he reached an arm over the top initially just to help himself posture up a little, which just about bought him a little bit of breathing space.
That looked deep. I thought that Allen potentially had spiked himself deeper into it with that slam.
Yeah, probably wasn't the best choice of defense tactics, but he eventually got himself into a surviving position.
You can see McHughes, he's thinking about getting onto that elbow to the arm, popping up, and maybe trying to get over into that Kimura grip bump sweep. We can't quite see. He's in the Kimura grip. What does he need to do in this position to try and pop that arm out, Paul?
Well, he needs to swing around, get a little bit of an angle, and bend that arm to 90 degrees, get it behind the back of his opponent, which he's about to do now. He's got a double wrist lock grip, figure four grip, and his opponent's trying to square up with him, and it becomes a battle of strength at a certain point, but his opponent's doing well to keep his left hand underneath his own hip, as you can see there. And he's holding his own shorts, which you're allowed to do in mixed martial arts. You can't hold the shorts of your opponent, but you can hold your own.
If you're not getting the submission in this position, why not use it as a means to advance your own position, to, as I say, hit a bump sweep to try and...
Well, he's just doing that right now. He's taking the back, and it's the Kimura trap is always a great option for creating lots of sweeps, back takes, etc. And he's locked up in a tight body triangle. So with a bit of luck now, he can stretch his opponent out a little here, although the cage is limiting his options.
He's deciding to go hook in instead.
And that's helping to stretch his opponent's hips, as you can see. Lengthen out the body and maybe get his opponent belly down on the floor.
He's created enough of an angle for himself that he can flatten out his opponent. Needs to grapevine those legs, and from there, if he flattens them out, he can land shots, gets the arms free. There's the shots coming in.
I think he can hear you. He's following your instructions to the T.
I predict these things. Josh Allen done a good job to get back into that tripod-esque position, but needs to be wary of that arm being signaled
under the chin. We are very close to a finish here. He does not have an underhook, so his opponent can posture up and try and shake him off the top. It's always an option when the opponent doesn't have the seatbelt secured.
Trying to give it the full Taylor Swift and shake him off, but McHughes having absolutely none of it. Reverts back to the position, trying to almost punch the arm through. 10 seconds left. Does he have enough time? He is on bicep grip. We can't quite see if he has it. Survival mode now for Allen. Makes it to the end of the round.
Wow.
Second round here, and you wonder if McHughes is going to try and just... Oh, and it's Allen who initiates the big power takedown attempt, but McHughes did a great job of splitting that base nice and wide.
Yeah, Allen told me his game plan was to pick his opponent up and smash him off the floor and win by ground and pound, so maybe we're seeing him try and implement that game plan now after spending the first round in a...
He does have the hands connected.
Position.
That's a big takedown, but again, you worry about the head position when he goes for those big high amplitude takedowns. Doesn't really have them in that center console of the body of McHughes. And
yeah, he's in the center now, but on the takedowns you don't really want to be doing it so much with your head on the outside. It leaves you at risk of landing in that guillotine, which he almost did in round one.
But McHughes does have those long limbs. He's got a foot on the hip here, we can see. May try and create an angle for himself.
Yeah, the butterfly hook now on the other side also.
Could look to elevate and sweep from this position.
He's definitely trying to get on that side and create that elevation, but Allen doing a great job of sort of following his hips, keeping a heavy base.
Potential here again for that Kimura grip, should McHughes want to get in on that side. A little bit more of an angle now on this side from Allen. Just needs to step the leg over on the side, but great job from McHughes to get himself back up.
Yeah, he's posted up, he's now getting almost all the way back to his feet. Allen's in deep, so he could pull the weight out pull his legs out from underneath him as he attempts to do there.
Just as you say, Paul.
Again, that head is on the outside.
You'd like to see McHughes get a hand on that head, at least try and push it down a little bit.
Yeah, he has the option of pulling full guard and getting himself into a guillotine position. It's always there, but you don't really want to commit to those type of things in MMA unless you have to, because you make it very difficult for yourself to get back to your feet. Hughes looks as if he's trying desperately to get back to his feet. It looks like that's his preference.
And one thing that isn't often spoken about in mixed martial arts, those high amplitude big takedowns, they do take a little bit out of the guy perpetrating the takedown, implementing the takedown as well.
Yeah, massive energy expended there by Allen in that slam. It's not something you want to do multiple times in one fight, because it's going to leave you with a little less diesel in the tank going forward. We've still got more than a round to come, so potentially anyway.
Hughes having to be smart with the shots there, and on that figure 4 grip again, that seems to be a go-to for him.
Yeah, he has one hand under that position. He hasn't connected the double wrist lock yet, but it's there as an option, and he's having to use that right hand to post on, unfortunately, so he hasn't got connected the Kimura grip yet. Back to his feet again, but Allen's deep on the legs. We could see him hoisting his opponent.
Another big takedown. Cheers of Matt Hughes versus Frank Trigg in that takedown.
Old school. Impactful shots. That's what scores on the judges' scorecards.
But again, the question in my mind is how much have those big high amplitude takedowns taken out of Josh Allen going into the third and final round?
Yeah.
Both guys absolutely biting at the bit there to get at it. Referee Harlan Wallace having to push them back into the respective corner. Big kick right up the middle, but Allen again, big takedown.
Another big slam. How many more of these does he have in his arsenal before the tank starts to run dry?
And again, it's great to score these takedowns, Paul, but then it becomes a question of what are you doing proactively with the takedown? I think gone are the days of mixed martial arts where you secure the takedown, you secure the points. Now referees and judges want to see you doing more with it. Yeah,
effective striking and grappling rather than positional dominance is what the judges are scoring.
Oh, high elbow guillotine here for McHugh. Didn't quite have it.
Coming close with submissions. They're probably going to be scoring a lot more than you are. Head on the outside's a problem.
This looks tight. McHugh putting everything he can into the guillotine, lets it go. You have to give credit to the toughness of Allen in these positions.
Yeah, and as I was saying, something like that is very likely going to score quite heavily on a judge's scorecard, more so than getting a takedown and just establishing a good position. Something that gets closer to finishing the fight is what the judges are looking for, something impactful.
As a judge and a referee yourself, Paul, is it potentially now can a fighter win a round, say, off his back, doing these sort of things, threatening with submissions, threatening with sweeps, as opposed to the fighter who, yes, may be on top, but isn't necessarily being as proactive?
Yeah, positional dominance is a secondary scoring criteria, so it usually doesn't play a factor unless literally nothing else is happening in the fight. So if you can cause some shot damage off your back, if you can threaten, and I mean threaten submission attempts, not just throw an arm or a leg over for the sake of it, something comes close to being finished, scores quite heavily in the judge's eyes.
Throwing a leg over just for the sake of it. Story of my life, but back to the fight. Again, Josh Allen trying to get in on the takedown here.
1 minute, Josh!
And it seems as though Hughes is trying to dive in for that, just trying to dive in for that neck, waiting for that moment of perhaps a little lapse in concentration from Allen to snap on that guillotine. You can see he's doing everything right positionally.
Yeah, he needs to start working his way back up that fence, get his back flat against the fence and start getting to his feet. Allen's in deep on the legs, which is making it difficult for him, but you'd have to imagine Allen is fatigued a little bit now. He certainly looks like he has slowed. He's holding on for the sake of holding on a little bit, I think. Hughes needs to push down on that head, get himself to his feet. Just busy smiling at the camera.
Yeah, you called it there, just that inactivity, that how much is it taken out of Allen, but again, right back into the takedown. And we're saying that he must be tired, and he's not showing any real signs of it. To be fair to him, he's getting in on the takedowns, he's scoring the takedowns.
Another one on the way, possibly he's trying to get under his opponent and lift him again.
Again, Kimura trap trying to be implemented by Hughes, and again a very, very tight. It comes down to the subjectivity of the three judges scoring at ringside. Thankfully, that's not us, but we go to the judges' scorecards.